Whatever role you get, you have to act a fool. Or you will be on the runway being an excuse maker and explaining to the judges why you should stay.
Oh!
You know, you got to make it work.
I don't know if you guys have picked up on this. Jaida might be beautiful, but she's also an absolute cold-hearted bitch.
I like ice.
Hi, it's me, Trixie Mattel, and welcome back to The Pit Stop, the show where we recap RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13. Today we are on episode 4, and I am so lucky to have an icon, a legend, somebody who is a model, a dancer, a singer, a piece of shit, a liar. She owes me money. She lives down the street from me in Milwaukee. Her name is Jaida Essence Hall. Bow, 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 bow. You just look, as usual, perfect.
Thank you. I try.
Flawless. Now we are back in the.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I try to aim for
We
the
are
top
back
and
in
I usually fall short. But never mind. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think you look flawless, but we are back on the Zoom drag, so I am gonna ask, what are we serving from the waist down this evening?
We are serving a onesie tied around the waist, and as soon as this is done, it's getting pulled back up.
Oh yeah, sis.
Yes!
This is the pit stop. This is the quality of the pit stop.
At least the socks are clean.
At least the socks are clean, sis. You've probably had the most unconventional reign of any Drag Race super winner. What's it like getting that crown in your living room, sis?
It's a magnificent, lonely moment. The tea was, we all watched the reaction. They're like, the winner of Drag Race, Jaida Essence Hall. I'm like, yay! Close the laptop and sit there awkwardly, alone in the VIP, basically.
I know, I have this vision of you going like, thank you, it means so much, and then literally closing a computer and just sitting. Jaida, we finally come to episode 4 and the queens have come together. So last week, Denali won the Maxi Challenge and no one went home. But as Ru said, the time has come to finally start sending these hookers packing. So before we dive into this, Jaida, what do you think of this cast so far? It's a strong cast, don't you think?
I think this is a really good cast of girls. Now, I must say, during all of this promo and everything, the girls have been very lovely. It was reminding me very much of season 12 tease. However, there was a lot of shade thrown. There's a lot of shade this season.
You think?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Everybody's very nice to start. It's almost too nice. Do you know what I mean? I'm a little bit like...
It's scary.
I said this a couple episodes ago, but didn't you think this two-part split cast, very focused premiere? I mean, the first 3 episodes have kind of been their own big premiere. I just feel very attached to all of these girls, don't you?
I feel like this way is giving the girls a lot of time for us to get to know them, you know what I mean? Understand who they are, see a little bit more about them. But also I feel like in the premiere, it's like we just said, it's always fun and cute in the beginning, but then we really will get to know the girls when the girls start leaving and the position in the building is threatened.
Exactly, that's when the girls are like, you're my sister, but I will kill you for this. The second group of girls comes back into the workroom and Elliot reveals that she actually didn't go home when they voted her out. And it gets a little tense very quickly. So do you think the B squad feels like they have something to prove to the winner's circle?
I always feel like when you are in the competition and you don't do well, the girls who have done well, you feel like you have to measure up. It's like Mama and Papa's like, Papa, I love you. I'm gonna prove to you that I'm a star, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and honestly, they all had probably the most traumatizing first day you can have.
Yeah.
Don't you think if you lost on the first day, it might actually help you do better because it might shake the fear out of you a little bit? That's what I would think.
I mean, that's how I would feel. I'm like, after that extreme rattle of oh, I could probably leave on the first day. I'm like, okay, well, child, at this point, anything can happen. When you've been at the bottom, there's nowhere to go but the top.
So the next day, all 13 queens enter the workroom, and it looks like Candy has a little crush on Joey. Thoughts? Feelings?
Looks like, girl, she 100% does. I love the way she chased her around the table. You know, sometimes you gotta play with your meal, you know?
There is a size difference. She might catch Joey and throw him over her shoulder and take him back to her den and eat that little boy alive.
Cave days, hunter-gatherer, Candy Muse.
RuPaul enters the workroom and explains for the Maxi Challenge this week, the queens have to overact in RuPaulmark holiday movies. Jaida, what holiday would you have wanted?
Kwanzaa. I want to have a movie that's celebrating the love of Kwanzaa. We just do not have enough movies about finding love during the 7 days of Kwanzaa.
You know, I can't say that I know a single one of them. I do love that our friend did not know about Flag Day.
I wish every day were Flag Day. I didn't know Flag Day was a real holiday. Like, this was news to me.
She said, I never got off school for it.
TV is always a place for us to recognize things and then make action.
Right.
We should be off of school and work during Flag Day unless it falls on the weekend, which it probably does, and we don't know that because we don't know anything about Flag Day.
Because we are what? Uneducated.
MPS!
Yes, Milwaukee Public Schools, thank you so much for failing us once again. The queens are assigned into 3 groups: Valentine's Day, April Fool's Day, and Flag Day, because why not? I would have loved Flag Day because I think that Valentine's Day and April Fools are what they are, but Flag Day is like, that's the dumb one. You want the stupid one, right?
You can, with Flag Day, because nobody knows what it is, you can make it anything you want it to be.
I mean, I don't know if we need a whole day to celebrate the idea of a flag. Are we celebrating all flags? Just our flag?
Mrs. Washington, who made that flag, probably took days.
That is not what happened. Stop it. Stop.
And days and days.
Mrs. Washington did not make a flag. Stop, don't listen to Jaida Essence Hall. The Betsy Ross erasure on this channel is too much.
That's what I was gonna, look, that's why we need Flag Day.
No, you said Mrs. Washington. You said Kerry Washington, bitch.
Oh, well, of course, Kerry Washington, I was talking about Denzel Washington's wife. Any Mrs. Washington could have made that flag.
You heard it here, folks. Denzel Washington's wife created flags and Flag Day. So, thank you.
God bless her.
So Jaida, what do you think is the key to making your part work and standing out in a group challenge like this?
All you really have to do is just be as funny as you can possibly be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You cannot look at the script and say, wow, this is supposed to be funny, especially when Ru says, overact your lines, then you need to overact the lines. You know what I mean? It's room to go as big as you want to.
This is your permission slip to literally be a fool, because they'll tell you if it doesn't work. Denali assigns herself the lead. Do you think it's good in these kind of challenges to take the lead part? What do you think?
I think it is good to take the lead if you want to make a very good impression, but I also think it's good to take the lead if you are probably very comfortable and familiar with acting. If not, there are a lot of girls in the competition. You can shine in a small role, you can shine in a big role, but if you're not comfortable acting and you take on too much more than you can handle, you will find yourself in a bad situation.
Elliot has a voice that seems to be getting on Hahmora's nerves. What do you think about that?
I'll say this, because I know my sis, and she's really not shady boots, the house boots back, beer back, like Joey said. But I can tell that while they were getting ready, you can see the clock and the cogs going in her mind, and she looked like she was just trying to figure out what was going on with herself, and she probably was just irritated. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure it out, everything is getting on my nerves. That's what it really looked like to me, but I could be wrong. Maybe she just was like, bitch, shut up.
Also, Hahmora, if you're annoyed by like nasally gay voices, girl, you picked the wrong industry. At one point, Ru asks Utica if she's ever smoked a little weed, and then loses her goddamn mind. Jaida, what do you think of Miss Utica?
I love her. Look, the first time I ever met Utica was in Milwaukee at This Is It. She was doing the show there, and then girl, she was like, I was having a conversation with her, and then I kind of was like, what is she talking about? And then I said, oh my God, this is me to other people. They never know.
You're like, she's weird. And then you're like, oh, I'm Utica. I've always been Utica.
Literally.
I also think it's funny, like, you're a cross-dresser, and anybody who's a cross-dresser and still uncomfortable admitting they've smoked weed on TV is so funny to me. Like,
girl, I'm like, the things we've seen in the gay clubs, I mean,
girl,
smoking weed is like picking up the Bible and reading.
Let's talk about the 3 groups, starting with April Fools, which includes Tina, Gottmik, Joey, Candy, and Tamisha.
Okay.
What did you think of the April Fools group?
I think the April Fool's group was hilarious. I think they all were committed to the roles that they had. I mean, there were a couple, some moments where it was slightly quiet, but overall the girls were hilarious. I think Tamisha made it work with the share that she was handed, but she made it work.
Don't you think that's such an asset on Drag Race? Like, when the judges give you direction and you actually take it?
Apply it in the competition. That's all you gotta do. If you wanna make it to the end, if not, then.
Right. Our friend Joey, our Milwaukee sister, was having some struggles with the lines. What were you thinking watching one of our own?
Girl, you know what? It was kind of hard watching her struggle, but I know Joey and I know she will pull it together. But I mean, that's the whole thing about Drag Race, which makes the show so phenomenal that I don't know what people think a drag queen is, but drag, we do so many different things. So, I mean, you have to learn to multitask. And thank God she pulled it together and fell in line.
The next group is Flag Day with Symone, Lala Ree, Rosé, and Utica. What did you think of Flag Day?
It was very funny. I thought it was interesting because I don't know what Flag Day is, so it could have been anything. But the girls like made it so funny and they like camped it up so much. And that's what I love to see a lot. Also, the girls looked good. They were snatch, no waist.
I mean, they did look good. Symone, her walking on set and doing like wordplay, I mean, she had me from like the first sentence, don't you think?
The way she was smart enough to change the sounds of the words, you know what I mean? The factory. Was it like diction or dialect? Whatever it was, the bitch was using it.
So finally we get to Valentine's Day with Denali, Olivia, and Elliot. Okay. And of course, Hahmora Hall as the tree. Girl?
Look, I'll tell you this. My sister is a woman, okay? She is a woman through and through. That is a lady. You don't show up unless you are prepared. There could have been a gentleman waiting there for her. The love of her life could have been on that set, and he probably loves curves. You never know. You show up your best every time, even if you're wearing a green suit and none of your body will be seen on screen.
I will say that is your drag sister. That is from the legendary House of Hall. Were you like,
yeah,
she's representing us today in that body under that green suit?
In that body, yes, and then the acting came. and I was a little nervous for my sis.
We don't claim her anymore.
Yeah, out of here, no.
Hahmora Hall as the tree bombing with body on. I'm gonna say that it's the most iconic moment of this season so far. The tree with body on, I mean, come on. Every drag queen watching is gonna go like, I see you, bitch. I see the hustle. So which group do you think was the strongest? Flag Day, April Fool's, or Valentine's Day?
To me, personally, I definitely was Flag Day. Flag Day the house.
Flag Day was really good. I think it's because the central character, which was Symone, she was in every scene and very good, which helps everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she was so strong in that scene.
I think the other groups had some fundamental, like, real lead balloons comedically.
Yeah.
Bad. Now as the queens get ready for the runway, Symone reveals that her first time in drag was her prom. What did you think about that?
First of all, I've seen pictures of her and she said, like, oh, well, I've been in drag and I didn't look that good. I saw that picture and I'm like, bitch, you look good on your first time in drag. I wish I was that brave to go to school in high school to prom in a dress.
Did you go to prom? Did you take a girl?
Our school was just not cute. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to be at this prom thing. That's not for me.
You're so gay that you won't even go to prom because it doesn't seem like it's a cool enough event. All right, so the girls are gonna hit the runway and the category is trains for days. Jaida, right off the top of your head, what would be the train look that you would do?
Oh my God, if I could do anything. Well, girl, I love glam stuff like that, so I would probably have done like a super, super red carpet, something that's just swooped all the way back.
I think I would have done like a wedding look, like a little mini veil with like a long, long train.
That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to be the girl to say it. But I would have did like just gorge sway, maybe Vivienne Westwood inspired, but with a long, gorgeous train.
So what did you think of Denali's runway?
Sickening, like sexual Amazonian bird.
It was cool.
But I would be afraid to have that bird as a pet.
Yeah, it's probably also illegal to have that bird as a pet.
Well, it would be sexier than you, and it'll probably have a slick, sassy mouth.
I have to say, she's kind of my sleeper hit favorite, Olivia.
Okay, I love Olivia.
Girl, Olivia is working my out, like a lot.
I would have wanted the train to be just a little bit more like va-va-voom.
Yeah, like maybe a little bit bustle at the butt.
Yeah, like a little whop.
All right, this is Elliot with 2 T's.
I love this look.
You did, really? Tell us about it.
What I really loved about the look, honestly, was the train. I thought the train was really full. It was very long, which, and when they say trains, I mean like when there is a specific category and they're like capes or trains or big hair, that needs to be the star of the look. And the bodysuit I thought could have been a little bit more innovative, but the train gave a gorgeous train.
Hahmora Hall.
She just looked phenomenal. Like the detail was so beautiful. The train was a train. What do you call those things on the back? Scales, spikes, thorns?
I think those are her shoulders.
Okay, oh.
Would you like to speak on this look Symone is giving tonight?
Now, I'm gonna tell you, Symone is doing it for the black girls. Came through on the premiere, moisturized, beautiful body. The flesh was nice and supple.
Supple.
She must probably been using Heidi Hydrates. But then today she did one more time for the black culture. She pulled out a staple in the black culture, a do-rag, and turned it into a train. I thought it was super innovative and still like that little punch, like the, ooh, we're here.
Symone, you really just did that. I mean, this was amazing. Really amazing. La La Ree.
I love this.
Oh, it's so cool.
No hair, basically no face shown. Even though there was no face shown, she still did her lips.
Yes, she did her lips.
Like she said, these eyes are piercing through and they literally just looked like they cut into your soul through there. She had that all figured out. She knew exactly the way that she would walk in that runway. She knew it was going to work.
So what do you think about Miss Utica?
I thought Utica was sickening. Immediately as you see the Carol Burnett show reference, you get the Gone with the Wind vibes, and then I love that she did it, but she did it in her own fabric choices, in her own way. And then when she turned around, the detail of like the little rouging, the draping, oh girl, she is sickening.
Now with Rosé's look, Michelle wasn't thrilled. What did you think?
Michelle kind of summed it up. She said that it looked like a suit with an attachment. Kind of almost like, you know when you get married and you get a gown and you're like, we have this belt with this extra detail on the back to change the dress.
Right.
It kind of felt very much like that.
I was kind of with her. You're right. I was like, it is fabric tacked to a suit.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of Gothics' look?
I love Mick, but I kind of felt a little lost in the look. I felt like it was a lot happening and I didn't know exactly what it was. It was like, because the wind of the chiffon was like moving around a lot of different ways. It was just, to me, it felt like hard to see exactly what the look was.
Can we just talk about Tina Burner for a second? Can we be vulnerable and honest? This look is f***ing gutted.
I
love Tina. This looks awful.
The proportions did not give me like stunning. The lapel was and literally to me, it felt like the entrance look again. It felt like the same look twice.
I mean, it just looks bad. Can we just be honest? Luckily, this is an acting week and she's a fabulous performer, because if she did bad, this is a bad look, I think. All right, Joey J.
Joey's was cute. I like the leather. I wish that the front of it would have tied in a little bit more to the back, because I love the mouth with the tongue. I thought that the tongue as a train was really cute, especially with the piercing, but the front kind of gave me like a disconnect.
He was like, I'm giving classic Joey J. I'm like, is classic Joey J generic? Joey's gonna beat the out of us when he sees us, girl.
She's gonna do like a ballroom kick to my throat and I'm gonna choke to death and die.
Oh, our sister Candy Muse. It's a no for me, dog.
Candy is a doll. She will always be a doll, but there were some things went awry with her original look. I'm glad that she was able to pull something together.
Yes.
And get on the runway, but mama, damn.
It was a serviceable look. This isn't a bottom look by any means, but it's definitely not a good look. And finally, Tamisha Iman.
I love a chocolate girl in a vibrant color.
Hello, jewel tones.
I love vanilla ice cream. It's kind of cute too, but when you get the Neapolitan, honey, and it's just the chocolate and that good strawberry together, there's nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she was serving us on the runway.
So what was your favorite look of all the train looks?
My favorite look of all the train looks, I would have to say, which is kind of crazy, but it was between Hahmora and Denali.
Yes, I'm gonna say Hahmora. It's crazy to think that our favorite look is, maybe the last look we see.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it'd be hard to find somebody who was watching this and didn't like, I hate saying it, but we have to say what the least favorite was.
Because it stood out in my mind, but not for the right reasons, I would have to say Tina.
I am so happy you said that. I'm like, am I being unfair? And I'm like, no, I hate this. I hate it. It's Thomas the choo-choo train, but so awful and so unflattering.
The thing is, it was very well made, but I'm just like, it just didn't give it. It just didn't give it.
The judges' critiques happen, and we find out that Symone has won again. Do you agree with this?
I say yes, girl. She delivered. She delivered and was true to herself in the challenge, and she delivered and was true to herself on the runway.
The gays at home who've bet money on Symone are like, oh yeah. So sadly, the bottom two is a battle of our girls from Chicago, Denali and Hahmora. Was it sad for you to see these girls in the bottom?
Girl, okay, so you know that Chicago being so close to home, when it's not a girl from Milwaukee there's the girl from Chicago. Those are we are like family, the house. I'm like, oh no, not Chicago, not right now, not on the first elimination. And then just know for a fact that one of the girls from Chicago would be leaving. Girl, I'm like, it just kind of stressed me out a lot.
I know. Last week I was like, I'm sick of this. Show me an elimination. And then they pick two people I know. And I'm like, no! So Denali and Hahmora lip sync to 100% Pure Love by Crystal Waters. And I have to say, when it started, I heard you go, oh, not the gown.
Not the gown. Girl, I'm like, this is the thing. It's so hard because obviously when you get ready for Drag Race, you want to look your best every single time. So that means if you want to look your best, you obviously will bring your best garments. And then just so happened that this week was the trains and she was wearing this gown. But also, Ru tells you, girl, what the runway will be. And if they told me that the runway was trains, bitch, and I knew that I was going to be in the garment that sucked my back to my belly button, girl, I'm like, I'm going to have to act my ass off because no matter what, I cannot be on that stage lip syncing in that garment.
Exactly. I know. And what a song. I mean, those first few bars, you want to move. And Miss Hahmora cannot move at all.
Girl, it's tough.
Not to mention, Denali's an incredible lip syncer. So Denali wins and Hahmora is the first girl to be sent home. Do you agree?
Sadly, I agree, but it's just drag, it does not.
I know.
It doesn't change who you are as a person. It doesn't change what your career can be. Is up to the queens to make the experience on Drag Race what they want it to be. And I know Hahmora is going to kill it and continue to turn it, But damn, it hurts.
What would you say to her if you could on the way out the door?
Bye, sis, I love you. Have a great night. You still had a great run. You're still amazing. You still will be remembered. You're memorable. And just kill it outside of the show. You know what I mean?
Jada, at this point, who do you think the top contenders are?
Obviously, Symone. She's been letting the girls know that, girl, I'm here to win this competition. And I think she's been slaying it. I think Candy was really good, especially today. Mick, obviously. Tamisha is one that you're gonna have to look out for. Lala, obviously. And Denali showed that, she is truly a lip sync assassin.
I think I'm with you on Symone, obviously. I really feel Olivia, and I really would like her to snake up, get a win next week or something and do a little something.
Mm-hmm.
And, God, even though I hated her look this week, Tina cracks my shit up. So I just really love Tina. You are such a goddess, and we are so privileged to have you on the pit stop, and I'm just so privileged to have you in my life, a fellow Milwaukee winner. I just love you.
Girl, look, I have to say this while we are here together, just in case people do not know in the world. Do not sleep on Milwaukee, okay, girl? Out of all the seasons of Drag Race, our little town has had 2 victorious, beautiful winners.
Isn't that crazy to think about? Crazy. We've only had 3 on there and 2 have won.
2 have won.
Milwaukee's fabulous. If you ever get a chance, come see me or Jaida or visit any of our lovely gay bars. Milwaukee is lit. Very lit.
Litty titty.
And thank you for watching The Pit Stop. Make sure you subscribe here to the RuPaul's Drag Race YouTube channel because next week we're doing episode 5 of season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Bye-bye.
Look over here. The Drag Race YouTube channel is always bringing amazing content. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing.